All right, Reece, thank you very much for taking the time to do this, man. Really appreciate it. So we've just been doing a quick kind of overview of your progress so far since you joined, which has been pretty remarkable, to be honest. So the purpose of this is just to kind of get an idea of like how you found the process and that kind of stuff. So just to, I suppose, give other people an idea of what they can expect to see and get and achieve when they enter the program themselves. So from your perspective, like where before you joined, where were you at in terms of your finances and your goals, and I suppose what made you wanna take the leap to join the program?
Yeah, I mean, prior to joining the course, I was making decent money, like a good wage, but always just paycheck to paycheck, and I never really seeing the money that I was making in like commission. I work in a sales environment, like a sales job. And yeah, so the reason I looked through some of the things that you post on Twitter, some of the examples of the tools that you use within the academy, and yeah, I thought that I needed to have some sort of structure like that, because I can't just keep living paycheck to paycheck. As you know, I've got 3 young kids. We're looking at trying to buy a house, and yeah, it was just we were saving small amounts, but also just not getting through any of the debt that we've got. It was a bit counterintuitive, and it's only from probably being on the course. I mean, if I hadn't have joined the course, I probably would have just been saving for a lot longer and still mounting debt and not changing habits, and yeah, it's
Yeah, so it's the thing a lot of people find, the situation a lot of people find themselves in is you've got, your goals are similar to a lot of other people your age, right? So for context, you're 28 at the moment, right? You've got a family, you want to save for a house, you've got a bit of debt you want to pay off, and you're trying to do all of these things at once, which isn't the wrong thing to do by any stretch of the imagination, but it's like the kind of like the lack of like the structure to know like the optimal order in which to do things, right? So when you joined, you wanted to regain control of the monthly finances, like you said, like stop living paycheck to paycheck and get out of that cycle, get the debt eliminated once and for all. I think you're on track to be paying off your debts for about 4 years or so at the time when we worked it out. You also want to buy a house and then just put yourself in a position where you can set yourself up for financial freedom and retire as early as possible, basically. So after just over a month then of being in the program, like where are you with those goals now?
Yeah, so we've paid off the majority of our debt. I think as of tomorrow, when my partner gets paid, we will have paid off. I'm gonna say around about nine grand of debt. I think it is 8 to 9 grand of debt, and that's just in being here for a month. And it sounds like they probably didn't need to necessarily be on the course if you've got 1 month to pay off debt. But basically, what we were doing was paying £900 in debt a month and then saving £1,000. So we had a savings of 4 grand. I've been paid nicely this month from commission and stuff like that, and my missus is getting paid this month as well, which she's a student, so she gets paid quarterly. So yeah, it's kind of fallen quite nicely in a position where we've been able to clear a good chunk of the debt this month, and the last bit of debt is car payments. Really, is paying off my partner's car, and that'll take us maybe 6 months to do, which is, like you said, a lot less than 4 years. And in the interest that we've saved, I think is around about 4 grand in interest over them 4 years, which in itself pays for the course, I would imagine. But yeah, so yeah, and then after that, rather than saving £1,000 a month, I think we worked out that in a probably worst case scenario month, we'll be able to save 2,500. So we've gone from saving this £1,000 for, we probably need about 25 grand Rather than saving for 25 months, from July we'll have 10 months of saving, worst case scenario saving, and we will have had the house deposit ready to buy our own house, which is incredible, really. It's not, and it's not like, it isn't like any massive changes have happened or anything like that. It's more just being able to look through your finances and go, I'll give you an example. We were spending £1,100 a month on food shops. In my head, I thought we was doing 100 quid a week, and not really thinking about, we spend 100 quid at the start of the week, and then we all go through that amount of food, and then we go and do a day shop, and that's 50 quid, and then we'll go on Saturday and get stuff for the weekend. It's another 50 quid, and shops here and there. And now we've dialed it back to us having a budget that we spend for that week, and that is basically saving us like £500 a month. If I wanted to get an extra £500 in my wage a month after taxes and all that sort of stuff, it means I've got to go to my employer and say I need a 10 grand increase. Which I don't know many people's employers, but they'll probably tell you, you can see you later, mate. So,
not today.
It's from a month, from where it was a month ago. And by no means am I saying we were struggling in life. We weren't at all. The kids have always had whatever they wanted, and we've always been able to go out for food and stuff like that. We're not living in poverty, but it was getting a bit annoying every month, getting paid a decent amount of money and then going, where the fuck has that gone?
And it's the same situation again, like a lot of people find themselves in, especially once they do start earning, like, what people consider like decent money, right? Like above average salaries and things, is it all just kind of ends up getting absorbed because there's no plan, and because you don't have like plans or like clearly defined goals, it just goes, right? And
it definitely does.
Again, it's
one of them things, like, we've always been, without having any plans or having any of the like sort of structures that you showed me to put in place. If we had 600 quid or 500 quid or whatever in mine and my partner's joint account at the end of the month, like, oh well, we can get some new trainers, or we can get something. We need to spend that money, if you get what I mean. Whereas now it's a case of, we have a set pot for, or a sinking fund for clothes, or for, not for clothes, but for non-grocery shopping, for instance, no food shops, which we put money into that every month. Hopefully we don't spend it all every month, and then that builds and builds and builds for us to have, if the kids for whatever reason need new uniform, new trainers, new clothes, like, we have a pot of money there that we can then go and take money out of to use on shopping, rather than using PayPal credit or using Klarna to buy clothes on. It's all really good at the time. Like I said to you before, it's great. You've got loads of clothes, you spent 20 quid, but you've got to pay that 20 quid for the next 6 months, and there's interest on it and all that sort of stuff. So it's much better just having, or I feel comfortable anyway now, that I'm not worried about looking in my bank account every month going, we might not have enough to get a food shop now, or we're going to be struggling until I get paid, or until the missus gets some more money in, or whatever it might be. So it's a big weight off your shoulders. It really is.
Yeah. Glad to hear it, man. Glad to hear it. So just to kind of summarize then, so obviously we went through kind of the goals that you had. So now you're in a position where you've got your easy, like, monthly money management system in place. You don't feel like you're living paycheck to paycheck anymore. And that's kind of giving you, like we were talking just before we started recording this giving you the mental kind of like space and clarity now to start working on a business that you're building on the side as well. We don't have to go into the details, but it's amazing that it's kind of giving you that like clarity now where you can just go and focus on other things because you feel just more secure month to month.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a little bit silly in a sense because that like now free mental clarity that I've got, I'm probably going to be adding more stress to it by looking at my own starting. Well, I already started the business a couple of months ago, but growing that business and actually putting attention into it. But again, that it just gives you that like, I don't have to deal with this one thing now, this problem. Let's find some more problems to add to my life. Yeah.
You're right, but also like the benefit is this is extra. This is a business that's going to generate more income.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
that's going to help you build well further into the future, and is ultimately going to allow you to bring all of these other goals further forwards. And that's the thing, right? Working on this stuff just by committing to be like good financial management, good money management, and savings and investments and stuff like that, you just end up making, as you are now, like just better decisions generally, but to drive you closer to your goal. So you've got the monthly money management system in place. You're going to be debt free by September this year, so within 7 months of joining the program, and 3.5 years faster than you were previously kind of on the trajectory to pay it off by. You're going to be saving, like you said, about £4,300 in interest by paying it off that much faster versus what you were doing before. You're going to have your deposit saved by the middle of next year now, which is again about a year faster than we were expecting. And you've got an investment plan and strategy in place now, like that foundational investment plan and strategy that's got you on track to be able to retire at 47, like worst case if you choose to. And for context, like we mentioned earlier, you're 28 at the moment, so that's less than 20 years more of work, which is a nice feeling, versus working until you're 70. So with that said, then you've smashed this, to be honest. So what everyone wants to know at this point is, how have you done it?
It's not necessarily like it's more just it's having a process in place, is having a plan in place is the main thing. We were just aimlessly watching money come out the account and not having and by no means now are we like that £1 has come out, where has it gone? I'm not like that at all. It's we still live a decent, like, comfortable time and do what we want to do and take the kids where they want to go to and all that sort of stuff, but there's now a plan and a budget for things. So like I said, with the food shops, with the clothes shopping, with days out and meals out as well, which is a key one to distinguish from takeaways and meals out. It's time that we spend as a family, and we added more to that budget because we wanted to do that more. We added more to a budget of days out because we wanted to do that more as well, spending more time together as a family. Whereas now we look at it and go, oh, we've got 100 quid to do X, and we've saved 100 quid from the food shopping, but now we can do a 200 quid day out because we've saved that amount of money. It doesn't mean that you've saved it and now it's just sat in your bank account doing nothing. You can move it around and using the tool, and that's something we've never had before. I mean, I've always made a good amount of money and I've always been dreadful with it. Like, I've always made bad decisions, getting credit cards, taking out loans to pay off credit cards and then using the credit cards again. It makes no sense. And it's just having somebody that goes, and it seems really simple to just go, but if you just look at this, and this, and you do these things, you could have X in the future and you could stop working at X. Is when it's sort of broke down in front of you, and when you do the road mapping and you go, all right, well, it makes more sense. Yes, so like for context, we started saving in October or December time, and like I said, we saved £5,000, and it's a bit like, well, I've saved all that money now. That's 4 months that I've just wasted saving that money. I'm just going to put it on debt. But if you do it, the sooner you get rid of the debt, the quicker you can start making more money, because you're paying that off every month with interest.
Yeah.
When you say how did I do it, it's more just being shown or being told this is the better way to do it. Within the academy, there's no, I'm not saying that you should spend your money here, but having that conversation with somebody that goes, well, I've done this multiple times before, I feel like this is probably the best way for you to clear all your debt, but it's entirely up to you. But you will have a lot more sooner than, it was just that really, just having somebody that can talk you through it, show you how to do it, using the tools that you give. I mean, that's the main one. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably the main reason I joined the academy, was to have the tool to be able to use that stuff. I'm quite a data-driven person, and being able to look at things and plan things, but I've just never done it with money really. Just done it with a lot of other things, just never money.
No, you're exactly right. It's that being in a position, and a lot of other people have found that kind of like one of the more powerful parts of this process as well, is just being able to see, right, if I've got this goal and this is what like the money I have to achieve like all of these goals, but like you don't know necessarily what the best approach is. So in the program, as I've done with you and I've done with multiple people, we can map out different scenarios, right? Like we did with your debt situation, where you were like, right, we've got $4,000 saved towards like the house savings goal, but we've also got this goal of eliminating our debt as well. And it's like, well, you were kind of inclined to keep hold of that, to keep it for the house savings and focus on the debt bit separately. But we were able to map out a scenario where we said, okay, well, if we take that and we put that on the debts instead, the debts are going to be gone X amount faster. You're going to save more in interest than you're going to potentially earn in interest from the savings account. Plus, you'll be able to save more because the debts will be gone faster towards achieving your house savings goal. And then you can kind of see that all, and you're like, okay, like that makes sense. And it's kind of getting over that initial hurdle of like, but that's like, you feel like you're throwing money into a hole. But when you see it all, and you see kind of how it comes back to you later on, plus extra, right? It's a bit of a game changer. And I like what you said as well about the budgeting element of this, and how it's not there to restrict you, because that's like a really key element that I really try to emphasize with everyone, whether they're in the program or not, to be honest, is like your budget shouldn't be restricting you. It should just allow you to prioritize your money being spent on the things that are important to you, either as a person or as a family. So it's music to my ears that you are doing exactly that. So honestly,
I mean, it's since joining the academy, it's not like we've then become stingy, like awful, not going out people. Our lives are just the same, but now we just are we're just a lot more confident around our spending habits and the money that we have, and how to use that money a lot wiser.
Yeah, spot on. So with that said then, like in a sentence, how do you feel now about your finances and your financial future?
Just really confident about it. Like I said before, I don't worry looking in the joint account anymore that me and my partner have. That was the thing. I would just kind of bury my head until I got a text on my phone saying you're now in the overdraft or whatever. And then it's like, oh God, what are we going to do now? Whereas now I'm so like, with the other funds that we've set up, so we set up a sinking fund for like clothes and stuff like that. Also set up a contingency fund. So if for whatever reason, when I've worked out how much we're going to spend on bills isn't right, I've got that spare pot of money there. This month it works out that I've worked it out quite right, and that 450 quid still sat there. So it means that I know that if for whatever reason something happens this month and we need to pay X amount out, I've got this money sat there. I'm not like, if I get a parking fine or whatever, that I'm going to have to pay 100 quid. I don't know where that money's going to come from, or if, I don't know, you think of the scenario and you need to pay out money. We've always been like, we're just going to have to hold that off. If we need new tyres for the car, or the car needs a service, or anything like that can come up, we have a separate pot of money there. And it's also a pot where I think this is a key thing that's I probably should have mentioned in the last bit, but is knowing that I've got to go in and take that money out to put it to do something else with it. It means I've got to then question, is that worth doing? You know what I mean? Is it worth taking that money out? Do I need to buy that thing? Or obviously if it's for a car or whatever, something for the kids, then yeah. But if it's something for like me that I would maybe like a new golf club or whatever, I'd probably then go, yeah, I'm not going to take that out because it's just not worth it.
Yeah, 100%. It kind of the key is you're giving every pound a job to do, and by setting up those contingencies and those backups like we do to kind of make sure that you're secure, that we've optimized the plan at the beginning of the month and assigned money towards your goals and your savings, investments and things like that. We also have contingencies and things in place for things that we know are going to come up, but we don't necessarily know exactly how much they're going to be, or just generally having a contingency because life is bumpy. There's always going to be things that come up that no one can predict. Just gives you that peace of mind, I think, and that kind of like stability.
It definitely does, yeah. Like I say, since paying off all the debt that I've paid off so far, it is just a massive weight off the shoulders, and just not having to worry about that one thing, which is a pretty big thing, especially you've got a family of 3 young kids like we do. My missus is a student. Money is the be all and end all. It rules quite a lot of things, whether we can do anything, and to be confident and to not necessarily worry about looking at my bank account, because I know I've got a plan in place, because I know I've budgeted for things. It's really helpful.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear it, man.
Yeah.
So is this something like with having achieved all of this stuff, is this something you feel like you could have done like as fast or at all on your own?
No, probably not. No, I would have probably just been making. I'm not saying I wouldn't have been able to do or achieve the goals that I had. I probably would have been able to, but I would have then been. It would have took a lot longer. 100% would have took a lot longer. I probably would have still made bad decisions, and I probably would have bought a house and took on whatever. Obviously, a loan for a mortgage is a different type of debt. But I would have took that on with a lot of debt that I'm still going to be paying for as well.
Yeah.
And so I definitely would have. Like I said, I'm probably one of them people that would have hit the goals and the targets I'd set myself, but it would have took me a lot longer, and it wouldn't have been as good, if you get what I mean. It wouldn't have. I would have still been making bad decisions, and then when you're making them decisions and you've got a 350 grand mortgage or whatever it might be, it's a recipe for disaster, really.
Yeah.
I'm still using loads of credit cards, loads of credit facilities, all that sort of stuff, as well as paying off a big mortgage. It's not a good idea.
No, definitely not. And the good thing is now that debt's going to be gone before you buy the house. It's going to have massive positive impacts on your affordability as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the banks are looking at, which is a huge thing. Your credit rating is going to be better. All of this stuff is going to go in your favor, and ultimately mean, like, it's so true. Like, this financial like betterment and improvement just compounds the more good decisions you make. But being able to make those good decisions depends on having a structure and the right tools and processes in place, like you mentioned. So honestly, you're absolutely crushing it, and it's been a pleasure like helping you make this happen. So one of my last questions: what would you say to anyone else watching this right now who's maybe on the fence about joining or considering joining the program, but maybe hasn't taken the leap and reached out yet? Like, what would you say to them?
Yeah, I mean, I told you originally when we first started, so we started talking, or I joined the program a month ago. I initially reached out to speak to you in October, and then decided not to because I was a little bit. I mean, I think one of the main things was I didn't think I had any issues. I thought I'd cleared all my debt. I genuinely did. And then when I actually looked at it all, I hadn't. And two, I thought, well, I don't have a mortgage. I'd seen you did a video about the tool, the budgeting tool, and it had, this is when I'm going to be able to pay the mortgage off. This is when I'm going to be able to retire. And I was like, well, he's not going to be able to help me with that because I don't have a mortgage. I'm not going to be able to work anything out really. It seems a bit silly to join now. And then I put it off. I was just like, it's not the right time to do it. And then just by chance, I thought, I'll just book a call. I'd already gone through the process of give you all my details, and then I just never booked the call with you. And then I thought, I'll book the call. What's the worst that can happen? Someone's going to help me with my finances.
Yeah.
And then, so I mean, it is one of them things. If you're on the fence at the moment, I would advise it's probably one of the better decisions you'll make this year, and it will help you massively. And it can definitely change a lot about how you and your family, and even if you're on your own, how good you are with money and stuff like that is a massive thing. Yeah, I would definitely advise anybody that is thinking about it at least, or has maybe done what I did and filled in all your details and then never booked the call, and have the call. It will definitely improve your finances.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. And then last question, is there anything you would change about the program or improve? Anything you feel is missing or anything like
that? Nothing springs to mind to say you could have done this better or anything like that. I'm sure if I did, you would take the criticism pretty well anyway. But yeah, no, not really. I haven't got anything that's like immediate that I would say, oh yeah, you could have done this better. Or, no.
Yeah. Cool. I'll take that. We'll end it there, mate.
Yeah, quickly.
No, I do appreciate it. Just trying to keep it balanced, But no, I'm glad.
Yeah, no, awesome.
And the key thing is I ask that question to everyone who's going through the process and has completed the process, just to see if there's anything that we can do to continue better helping people, basically, because obviously you only just joined the program, you've got months and months and months left in it yet. So if there's anything essentially we could do more, then we can do that. But obviously we'll continue working on this, continue to help you keep smashing through these goals, and revising on your roadmap as and when we need to and things like that. But really appreciate you taking the time to do this today, Reece, and yeah, looking forward to continuing to help you crush these.
No danger, mate. Thank you.